Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Maryam Zeineddin. Maryam, you can call me, or Dr. Z. I'm going to start with something very controversial. I'm going to start with saying that one of my deepest values that I follow is honesty. But unfortunately, I have lied to myself many times. Maybe not knowingly, but it has become toxic to my health and well-being. So I want to share my story. I was born in Iran to a very socially responsible and conscientious family. I'm the oldest daughter of 3. And when I was a child, my father was the head of the Red Crescent, the equivalent of the Red Cross. So he was very busy. And this was during the Iran-Iraq War, while my mother endured 3 late miscarriages before my sister was born. So you can just imagine what she went through. And so my main caregiver was my mom's aunt, who lived with us. And I called her Maman Juni, which means my dear mom. And she was my rock, and every time I talk about it, I feel the depth of grief in my heart. So we left Iran shortly after my sister was born. I was 7 years old, and we left Maman Juni behind. And not long after, she passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. And so that was the childhood wound, the grief and the pain that quietly shaped who I became. And the reason why I share these details is because our coping mechanisms begin in childhood. So the real trauma, or the internal wound, isn't really what happens to us, but what happens inside of us as a result of what did or didn't happen for us. My wound was shaped by loss, by responsibility, and by the unspoken belief that to be loved, I had to be good, strong, and sometimes useful, because I was the oldest of 3. And so to be worthy in my family meant to serve, to strive, to give. So no surprise, I became a doctor. And don't get me wrong, nobody told me to actually become a doctor. It was my own choice, and I love being a family doctor, and I have some patients in the audience. But I lied a lot along the way, and I said, I'll take over a medical practice the day I graduate from residency, which actually, by the way, nobody does. I can get married to the love of my life, who's sitting right here, have 2 children, and at the same time co-own a clinic with over 10,000 patients, deliver 100 babies a year, and see 30 to 40 patients a day, every day. I mean, that just exhausts me just saying it, so I'm so sorry. And I did all of it. But it just didn't stop. The same coping mechanism that helped me survive as a child were literally now driving me as an adult. I kept serving and striving and giving. I mistook exhaustion for purpose and responsibility for worthiness. Can anybody relate? So eventually, I told myself, I will be fulfilled if I take on a 3-year leadership role to help save family practice. And together with phenomenal colleagues, we built and negotiated a brand new payment model for family docs here in BC. Thank you. And this is something that we are deeply proud of. And yet, no matter how much was achieved, even if it was purposeful, my body kept score. My soul kept whispering to me, you are not honoring you. So throughout these 20 years, just to put it in perspective, I've had clinical anxiety and depression where I've had to take antidepressants, very high functioning, by the way. I've had back pain so severe, I've crawled into the emergency room. I've had burnout that I feel on and off if I work a bit more than my body allows. And so I paused and I realized that the burnout was making me question who I'd become. 20 years into this dance of doctoring, leading, being endlessly responsible. So somewhere along the way, I stopped listening to this part of me who was actually quite young, who really seeked connection, and the mountains, and the birds, and the crisp air with fresh powder for those of you who ski. And that part of me who wanted creativity and just gratitude and the simple freedom to just be. So I started to listen to a whisper, and the whisper led me to create Zeely Care. It's a preventative health platform to help individuals, and I started for women, to own their health before their mind, body, and soul start screaming. I was tired of Band-Aid medicine, which I have been doing for the last 20 years. And it's for a community who understand that you cannot separate your physical, your mental, and your emotional health the way we do in the conventional world of medicine. So thank you. It is all one system. And for me, Zeely Care became a bridge between Western medicine and Eastern wisdom, between healing others and actually healing myself. And I created this formula, and I think it was supposed to go up there, as a lifestyle prescription for my patients and for myself, mostly. And it's a daily practice to live your whole self with like an anchor to return to when it feels overwhelming. So as you can see, this was the acronym, CARE. The C is calming the mind. So clearly you can't calm the mind, but you can notice your mind. Each morning I practice stillness, I breathe, I listen, and I slow down enough to hear what's beneath the noise, and I meditate religiously. A, activating the body. I have always been physically active, but the real shift came when movement stopped being performance, and it became about presence. The R is reinforcing your body with kindness, not frustration and judgment, because that's what we do when we're in pain. I've learned to meet my limits and rest. I do energy work. I do therapy for both my mind and my body, and that has replaced my measure of success by output. And the E is the best, because that's what we're all doing right now. We're engaging our soul. We're connecting intentionally to individuals, to purpose, to what lights us up. And so my measure of success is genuine connection and the courage to be my very flawed, authentic self. So working with my mentor, Dr. Gabor Mate, yes, he was my mentor, still is, I learned compassionate inquiry. It's a therapeutic approach to address trauma in a way that you can connect actually to the wisdom of your soul. And what began as a tool for my patients, he told me, well, let me tell you, it's going to be the most transformative work for you, and it was. He was right. So I began questioning every lie, every inherited story, every belief that said, I'm only worthy if, and you can just connect the dots for yourself. If my kids are thriving, if my patients are happy, if everybody else is okay. It's actually exhausting, is it not? Yes. But the truth is, to live a healthy life and honor your authentic self, you have to know yourself deeply. Deeply enough not to lie to yourself. Deeply enough to stop ignoring your own signals. Deeply enough to make choices that actually feed your soul, not your ego, although your ego will follow you a lot. And self-awareness isn't something you find, it's a muscle you awaken through mindfulness, reflection, and therapy. And I'm seeing, it's like seeing your thoughts without becoming them. I don't know if you know, but we have 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of it is actually rubbish. And as long as you can realize that you can be the observer, not the overwhelmed participant. And in that awareness, you begin to redesign your life with intention, one honest breath at a time. So don't get me wrong, I'm still on this journey, still peeling back the layers of should, still learning to befriend the truth. So if you take one thing from my story, let it be this. Don't wait for your mind, body, and soul to scream for your attention. Don't wait until you get sick or ill, or your bad genes get turned on, or your pain forces you to stop. I would say start listening now, because a lot of you are in midlife. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying. I am too, don't worry. Because just to end, your truth, the one you've been denying, isn't your enemy. It's your invitation back home. So thank you.